Okay, welcome everyone to Remember to Breathe, our weekly meditation here on Zoom. You can sign up on our website to join our Zoom, and you can also join through YouTube and Instagram Live. So, yeah, it's awesome to be here now in our third week. Thanks, Mark, for joining in person here, and we're going to be building a conversation and a community here. So we're going to start with the Tao of movement building, um, and start with chapter 3 here. So if you want to just take a deep breath and receive this listening to the heart of systems change. When movements look to their leaders for answers, they lose their way. When leaders listen to their community to sense the path forward, the work unfolds. Choose resolve over ambition. Outer goals and achievements are secondary to tending the fire and remembering the purpose at the core. This one's really short, so I'm just going to read it again. It's just those two paragraphs. Chapter 3, The Tao of Movement Building, Listening to the Heart of Systems Change. When movements look to their leaders for answers, they lose their way. When leaders listen to their community to sense the path forward, the work unfolds. Choose resolve over ambition. Outer goals and achievements are secondary to tending the fire and remembering the purpose at the core. So I invite you to take a deep breath in your belly, in your lungs. Feel the breath moving throughout your whole being. And again, beginning from a place of imagining ourselves as trees in the forest. I've been sourcing myself from this inspirational vision of ourselves in the movement for a viable future as old growth trees in the making, aspiring to be old growth trees. For 20 years, this vision has inspired me and sustained me through ups and downs. So I invite you to feel your feet on the ground and feel the roots energetically going down from the bottom of your feet. You can also feel your whole spine from your legs, your feet, all the way up through your spine and then down from your tailbone into your legs, into your feet, and those roots then moving through the floor, down through the foundation of the building that you're in or whatever's the closest connection point to the earth, down through the many layers of soil and stone, all the way to the center of Mother Earth, the crystalline core surrounded by lava and fire, heat, and we can receive the nourishment from our connection with Mother Earth, just as trees do. This life energy, there's an intuitive knowing, and then there's ancient practices, and there is also modern understanding of forest bathing, of grounding as a term that is a practice of connecting to this vibrational frequency of the earth herself. And from a symbolic, living, sentient language, we can remember that rhythmic pulse from the center of the earth is the heartbeat of Mother Earth, of our planet, our living planet, our conscious, intelligent planet. So aligning with the energy, the intelligence of our planet brings our own life into alignment, into harmony, into connection with the intuitive guidance that we need, the sense of flow and harmony in our relationships, that magic energy that's sometimes present in our life. And the purpose here each week is to amplify and remember that it's always happening, the synchronicity in our life. When the stress builds, by having this weekly pulse each week, this can add to the remembering that life is moving with us, responding to us. There's an intelligent communication. So feeling that rooted connection with Mother Earth, and then feeling that energy moving through the whole body and then up into the sky, connecting from the top of the head with the sun, the moon, the stars, all the planets, the great expanse of the universe. And connecting with time, the mystery of time, synchronicity, especially with the time change, losing an hour or gaining an hour this last weekend. There's a need to metabolize that shift in our cultural reality, the choice to change the clock because of the sun and the days getting shorter, the darkness growing. And then we can come into our hearts and remember that fire in our hearts, remembering the purpose at the core, tending the fire within us. Remembering the meaningful moments when you felt that connection, that life is deeply purposeful, deeply meaningful, even while we don't understand how we're going to get through. The mind doesn't know. And so here in this moment, we're saying to our minds in a group together, we're saying to our minds, you don't have to know. It's okay. There's a greater wisdom that we can listen to, a feeling in our being, the experience of the life force itself, the part of ourselves that digs in when it's hard and just says, I'm going to keep going. The part of us that also says, wow, this is amazing. I feel gratitude. I don't need to understand how it's all going to work out, but in this moment, I feel grateful for my life, for the people that I love and care for and cherish, and who love and care for me. And I'm going to put that in the center of my focus and awareness and root myself and grow from that place, from the inside out. I'm going to hold the paradox of yes, there are deadlines, there are things that need to get done at particular times, there are goals that I'd like to meet. I even feel like I need to meet them. But again, going back to my first podcast a few weeks ago that I put out, I was talking about the wisdom from Julia Butterfly Hill. She was sharing with me be, do, have, that place of moving from purpose, remembering to move from purpose instead of productivity. It's not how much I get done, it's did I do it from a place of conscious awareness? Was my heart in it? Or was I just going through the motions? So I'm celebrating that we're here practicing together, and I want to energize this vision of ourselves as an interconnected root system. Each one of us aspiring to stand as an old growth tree in the forest that we're committed to sustaining as a partnership culture for the generations to come, so that there's beauty here for them as our children grow up in this world, that there's beauty, that there's respect, love, care, intelligence, wisdom. There's ways of coming together and celebrating the regenerative capacity of life, to honoring it, to teaching that that's how life is. I'm celebrating that we're here connected with each other and people listening to the recording. And then the networks that we're a part of, people who aren't here right now, maybe you're going to invite someone next week to tune in. And even those that never hear about this morning weekly meditation, we can tune into the network, the interconnected mycelial root system of connections, all the people who share our heart's intentions of a viable future, of somehow, some way, life is going to continue to unfold and figure itself out and heal and grow and create and be messy. And that we invoke the realm of magic and divinity, the support from all dimensions, so that things somehow work out in our favor. And even if they don't feel like they are working out in our favor in a particular moment, that there is the capacity to stay with it, to stay focused and aware and open, to see the teachings that are in the challenge, to be grateful, even when it's hard. Bitter medicine is still medicine. And then to be grateful for the sweetness as well. So we can take a deep breath. And before we return to our day, again, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that is here practicing with me. And I want to give voice to my commitment to this weekly meditation showing up each week. And I'll let you know if there's a issue. I know December 2nd, I have a full day training, so we might need to do that week on a Monday or Wednesday. I'll let you know. We'll figure it out. But I want to invite you to look at the Deep Roots 2026 cohort. If it's something new to you, you can go to avf.earth, our website. There's a lot of information. There's a beautiful video about the Deep Roots cohort. And even those of you who are alumni or current participants, to be thinking about how to invite new folks, new partners into our cohort, to keep it growing, to be growing this interconnected root system. So wanted to make that invitation. And then in closing for today, to take some deep breaths into this energetic network that we're visualizing together. You know, we'll be doing this every week, strengthening this interconnected root system, this web, because we're both giving and receiving from it and to it. When we breathe into it, we're energizing it, this connection between us. And then we're also, through this connection, offering stability, a stabilizing energy, a stabilizing force out into our human family and all of life. Really, there's real research that actually says that's real. It's not just a nice idea. There's research with fancy equipment that can track the emotional and energetic output of this kind of intentional group practice. And that's what inspires me. And that's why the more that we grow as a community of practice, having a conscious, intentional, peaceful, creative, courageous presence in a synchronized way all together. And even those tuning in later in that asynchronicity, it still contributes to the field. So as we close, I want you to just check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? Your heart, your breath, your body. Connect to that internal fire, that power source within you that's stronger, more courageous, more powerful, more beautiful than you even know yourself to be. Calling that up, allowing it to express itself through you. And then also feeling that support from this root system. And I want you to experiment this week with imagining that it's here for you, that you're connected to it throughout the week. If there's moments where you need support, I like to feel it in my feet as a root coming up through my feet, and then especially through the back of my heart, behind, between my shoulder blades. When I feel a rooted connection through the back of my heart, I'm able to relax my chest open, my breath. I'm able to feel supported. So that's a potent place to place your attention when there's overwhelm, when the mind gets going down a track that isn't actually supportive and helpful. So thank you for your presence here and for taking care of yourself, and just in this last moment to energize your next few hours, to energize the rest of today. If there's particular important moments in the week to come that you want to just take a moment to give positive, magical energy to, that things are just going to work out because I've taken the time to lay an energetic, intentional foundation. My creative, visionary mind is laying the groundwork for things to happen smoothly, gracefully. Yeah. I'm going to finish with chapter 3 again, and want to say it's really makes me happy to see folks tuning in on the Instagram live. Uh, Inoculated Farms, I want to give you a shout out. I know who you are. And Joseph, I think that's you. And Chris Luke, thank you. Spark Seeker, thank you for being here. And then Mark being on the Zoom, and everyone else as well. Chapter 3, to finish the Tao of movement building. When movements look to their leaders for answers, they lose their way. When leaders listen to their community to sense the path forward, the work unfolds. Choose resolve over ambition. Outer goals and achievements are secondary to tending the fire and remembering the purpose at the core. So thank you again. If you want to rub your hands together so they're warm and just wipe your face. So thank you again. And I invite you when you log off here just to not rush into the next thing, but take an intentional few breaths, drink some water, just take a little space before jumping in. So have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next week.